Live. Welcome in, guys. If you are tuning in currently, if you did just get the notification, this is a new segment we got going on. We've been really excited to unveil it. Last week we were putting together some plans, talking about some future plans for the Blitz podcast, and this is one of the things that we came away with. So this is Engage 8, obviously by the notification you just got. But this is going to be a daily segment, or as Shaden so nicely put it before the podcast, or not before the podcast, before the recording, that it'll be as close to a daily segment thing as we can. 8 minutes daily, just talking casual over everything that's going on in the NFL. So feel free to drop your questions. We're just having a casual conversation about the shit that's going on in the NFL today. So, Jaden, are you hyped, man? Let's dive into Engage 8 for the first time. And we only have 8 minutes, so we might as well get cranking. So, first off, the list. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Give your little intro.
I was just gonna say, very excited. This was a cool little thought of yours. Got to give you your props. This was the Engage 8 name was your idea, so just wanted to give you your flowers on that one.
Yeah, and in case you guys didn't know, if you guys aren't familiar with Madden, Engage 8, one of the most, if not the most popular play in Madden of all time. So, Engage 8 minutes, kind of cute. But without further ado, let's dive into it. And one of the news that we had come out today was Hollywood Brown. Earlier in the day, it was expected that he might be out the whole year, but now it's confirmed that he's out more like 6 weeks. So this Cardinals team, they continue to run into little speed bumps, but they do have help coming in the form of Robbie Anderson, who they made the trade for earlier today. I forget the details on the trade, but what are we thinking, man?
Yeah, I think it's still unknown as to what actually was the compensation for him, but they just can't seem to get the timing right. Obviously, you brought in Hollywood to kind of get you through these first 6 weeks and then be a second fiddle to DeAndre Hopkins. And then as soon as DeAndre Hopkins is ready to come back, you lose Hollywood for 6 weeks. So, naturally, and you're talking, again, another 6 weeks from now, but you might be talking about one of the best wide receiver cores in the league once Hollywood gets back healthy. You've got DeAndre Hopkins, Hollywood, now Robbie Anderson is a third option, and Rondale Moore can just be a gadget guy now. And even a guy like Antoine Wesley, who's given you, good snaps going back to last year when he had to fill in when Hopkins was missing time as a fifth guy. I mean, that's kind of all you can ask for, but I'm afraid it might be too little too late in Arizona.
I mean, I was going to say, from what we've seen from Cliff so far this year, can he even do anything with the weapons that he's about to get returning? I mean, you got D-Cop, he was just activated, bringing in Robbie Anderson, who... I mean, that might be... You've got a lot of locker room issues in Arizona, how it is already, and everything that unfolded on Sunday with Robbie Anderson getting kicked off the field by his own team, I can't imagine that he's a great locker room guy. So
No.
it's just not good in Arizona right now. Do you give him any shot at winning the division?
Winning the division, it's probably out of the window, even though everyone in that division is sitting at 3-3 right now, except for the Arizona Cardinals. But I'm not. If they sneak in the wild card, I'd still be surprised. But their division is over for them.
Yeah,
it's time to look at next year.
It'll be interesting to see how Robbie Anderson and D-Hop do in fantasy for the next coming weeks, but that'll be something. Next topic that we have to run through real quick is some bad news coming out of Washington from the Commander's side, and it's Carson Wentz. Fractured his finger. He is now declared out for 4 to 6 weeks. There might have been an 8-week estimation at some point before that, but now it's 4 to 6 weeks confirmed. I mean, it doesn't really mean a whole ton outside of our chances of bringing Carson Wentz back next year are probably pretty slim now if he doesn't play the next 4 to 6 weeks. And we get to see Heineke again, and it just increases our chances, as we probably will lose these coming games, increases our chances of getting a top 10 pick and a quarterback next year. Is Carson, if he doesn't end up in Washington next year, where does Carson end up, dude?
It might be time to start talking about a backup role. This honestly could be a blessing in disguise for Washington, because if we remember this offseason, the clause that was put into this trade was if Carson Wentz plays more than 75% of his snaps, then the trade becomes a third round pick for Washington, whereas if he doesn't play 75%, he's going to get It's going to be a second-round pick that Washington gets to keep. They get to keep their second-round pick. And with him missing 4 to 6 weeks, that's probably going to be over a quarter of the season. That's a quarter of your snaps. He's probably not going to hit that threshold, which now means watch to be looking at a top 40 pick instead of like a top 70 pick that they're going to be getting back. So in best case scenario, Carson Wentz comes back and balls, and then you've got your guy. But next 4 weeks, you've got Green Bay, Indianapolis, Minnesota, and Philadelphia. Those look like 4 losses to me, especially with the 6-0 Philadelphia Eagles, the 5-1 New York Giants, and the 4-2 Dallas Cowboys, who are about to get Dak Prescott back, all in your division. Season's a lost cause. It's over. Maybe you can Taylor Heineke can show you something.
Yeah.
Maybe you throw in Sam Howell. I don't know if he's ready yet, but it's kind of over. It might be. It's time to look towards next year. For Washington,
it'll be interesting to see if Sam Howell gets any playing time over the next couple weeks. Depending on the only reason I don't think that'll probably happen is because we paid Taylor Heineke a lot of money to be our backup, and Sam Howell, if he was going to be the backup, he would have been the backup already after 5 weeks into the season. So, yeah, I guess Heineke time is upon us in Washington, which also means Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Will Levis are also on our horizon as well. So, can't hate on it. Yeah, I'm happy to be getting a quarterback in the next draft class. As in comparison, I don't mean to shit on the Steelers, but drafted Pickett. Like, I feel pretty good about being in that position.
He halfway beat Tom Brady this week, so let's pipe down.
Yeah. Hey, we had some big lower tier teams catch some dubs this week. I mean, we had the Steelers beat the Bucks. We had the Falcons beat the 49ers. We had the Giants beat the Ravens, and then the Eagles, who, I mean, they're probably the best team in football, so it doesn't really count. But it was kind of a weird week in football. It's hard to we might want to leave. But yeah, it's hard to kind of analyze what happened this week. I don't know. What was your most shocking win?
It was definitely us beating Tampa Bay. I mean, with no secondary, top 3 corners, and Minkah Fitzpatrick out, the wide receiver room for Tampa is fully healthy. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, all those guys. We still have no T.J. Watt to get to Tom Brady, so that was definitely a shocker, especially if you would have told me that Mitch Trubisky played the second half. We converted a 3rd and 11, a 3rd and 13, a 3rd and 15, and another 3rd and 15 in the second half alone.
The Falcons?
So
yeah.
I don't think we've converted that many 3rd and longs.
Falcons, man. I know you don't want to give them their flowers, but
they'll be tier 2.
A little preview for the power ranking segment. All right, we've got 5 seconds left. Who you got tonight? Yeah, I'll go LA as well. All right, that does it for our first Engage 8 segment. We'll be doing this daily as best as we can. But yeah, expect more in the future. It's been a good time.